all of a sudden the coffee's got this weird burnt taste, and don't know where it's coming from. So I'm using the nicer water, and I'm hoping that that will take care of it. Also not boiling the water completely. But it's weird because I always thought that burnt flavor came from when you use the wrong instant coffee. So I've been trying to find out different brands, and here the variety of coffees is just not as great as back in London. This is home now. Hey everyone, how you doing? This is day 82 of 100 Days of Making Comics. I'm Jan, and this is my little comic book coming to life one little step at a time. So it's been a while. I'd say it's been about a week since I've last posted an update, but I've been on a little trip. I've been on a little trip across Spain to Valencia. Cuenca, very old city, and it was awesome. And then we had a friend stay over from Colombia before she had to head back to South America, and yeah, so it's been a week of, you know, wonderful dinners and checking out Barcelona and these other cities. Like, cat, what can you do? So yeah, lots of sightseeing and hanging out, and it's been awesome. And I have been doing some work on my comic book. You may have heard or seen some of it online, but I've been keeping most of it to myself. One sketchbook has gone missing. It's somewhere in a suitcase. I can't find it. I've just been looking for everything. But this right here, I'm not sure how this video is going to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through this with you all today. This is what I did today. But these are a bunch of character sketches. So this drawing, like, I liked it, but I wasn't really feeling it today, so it was kind of bothering me that I just couldn't get it right, and I was just kind of being annoyed and not so motivated. But then later tonight I drew this one. Now there's still problems here with both the hair. This eye should be slightly lower, maybe a little bit more in. I think he looks a bit too young for what I want the character to be, but as a drawing, it's very solid. Like, I really like the outline. That came out right. The hair is messy. I didn't like it when I was drawing it. I'm still not happy with it, but it looks good. Like, you know, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So let's draw another one. Draw it like, because I'm getting ready for you know, doing the rough pencils, the type pencils, and the inks on the remaining 7 pages of my introduction to my own personal comic book project. So if you're new to this series, 100 Days of Making Comics is half an hour to an hour a day on your own personal comic book project. Mine is very much a monster horror movie type story, very much in the vein like, yes, I know, come. No? Okay. Love that cat. But very much in the vein of Alien and the Thing. We have a group of intrepid explorers on some kind of science fiction-y vessel discovering a signal of some sort, and this, in my story's case, the signal is a person. And they go out and exploring, and what they find, unwittingly, they awaken some sort of biomechanical monster. And while they get up to no good deciding what to do with their discovery, they die one by one. That's it, in a nutshell.
walnuts shop. They're bigger. So I'm looking at page 3. What we're looking at here is a very large first panel, first group shot on page 3. There's a lot of characters here. Lieutenant manager guy, the snarky tech guy, the doctor. We've got the pilot, driver, and the assistant. Corporate spy all the way over here. I think all of them except for this one right here have been worked out. I did draw a single sketch of him here and there, but all the other ones are pretty much nailed down. So I think it's time we... And already there's some issues. A lot of these characters had like a single pinup in my little sketchbook, which I can't find. And when it came down to actually doing these roughs, it really made me realize that I didn't know what they actually looked like beyond the pinup. So what is exactly the shape of their eyes, their mouths, their nose, all that stuff. So I made a stack of drawings in the past week whenever I had time. So here we go, some practice runs for headshots. The doctor I drew today, last week. Dr. Andrew. Defined him a little bit better. Side, 3/4, another side. Smiling. There's a lot of information that I need in the back of my mind to kind of know what kind of people they are, how they behave, how they move, all that stuff. And a lot of that stuff is really fun daydreaming. But also last week, I grabbed the other sketchbook. And this one, I started on day 22. It's the one in which I simply wrote beginning, the middle, and then somewhere over here, the end. And I just started writing in those 3 parts of the book, the beginning, the middle, and the end of my little story. Sorry, this is probably gonna keep happening. So I picked up this book again, and again I started jotting down a lot of ideas. These ideas, these little boxes that you see, are scenes that have to happen according to the story I've written so far. So, example, there's a whole bunch of characters. One of them is this taskmaster, the other is a very pretty lady named Anna, who you can see over here in 2 different versions. And Anna has been working her way up through the vessel in the ranks. And she gets sent back down, put in her place, if you will, to work with her old manager, if you will. And they work very well together, which is what got her noticed by the upper management. So that's a scene that needs to happen. I need to show how well they work together because I'm going to break them up. At some point, she becomes a pawn in politics on board the ship because of this guy right here and his corporate spy. She gets demoted, if you will, and someone else gets her job, and that someone else is one of her best friends, who you can see right here. And so that creates a problem for these, well, for 4 characters. And this problem, politics, these illustrate a lot of their character and how they behave and what their desires and goals are. Like, these are all little things that need to happen. So for lots of different characters, I wrote scenes like that. So how big is that story? Like, are we talking about the first issue? Because that's a lot of stuff. Could that be done even in 22 pages? Maybe. Depends on how much storytelling you want to do. Should I think of this as like the big story over 10 issues maybe? So is everything going to be really drawn out? like something to think about, like in this past week. The next thing I thought of was the big chunks of plot that kind of need to happen. So I broke it down into 4 parts. Really, I just wrote it down on one single page. And the puzzle is how it starts. Like the first thing is on the first 2 pages, they come across someone walking the wastelands, and they're intrigued by who this person is and how he managed to survive out there, because they're not where they're supposed to be. No one knows where they are, so how can someone else be there? So the discovery. So that's my part 2 that I wrote down. So they quickly realize that they cannot do this by themselves, but they want to do it by themselves because they are scavengers and they want everything for themselves. But it isn't before long before what they were trying to prevent happens, which is someone else gets wind of where they are and butts in. And they are much more violent and vicious, and they basically take over the site. So that's another problem. Again, this creates like immediately like, okay, so that means I have to have all these scenes. This intrigue is starting to happen, and so these other scavengers, like they must have a history with these people, otherwise they wouldn't be afraid of them or not want to have anything to do with them. So there should be a scene where the captains of the ships are talking to each other. There should be scenes that illustrate their viciousness and violence. There could be scenes where the kids who are the laborers on the bottom decks realize that maybe their scavenger crew isn't treating them so bad after all. There should be another one-upmanship where, because of the Wanderer having found the installation first, he has a secret passageway that he managed to get in. It's time for dinner? You can come by. Yes, time for dinner, guys.
What? Pear juice?
Ooh, this should be delicious.
So I'm back in my spot. Dinner was great. I totally forgot where I was. We watched an episode of Silicon Valley and House of Cards. No spoilers, time to catch up on that show. I was telling you all about the chapters I had written. And part 3 is where they start to realize what is up with this installation. Like the installation starts to reveal its secrets, if you will. And as that happens, things they found earlier start to infect people. And I've also written down, that's actually my notes. I've also written down like a development of the infections, if that makes sense. So my monster, my biomechanical monster, if you will, just like Alien and just like the Thing, it goes through transformations. It goes through different stages of growth, if you will, where it gets more and more deadly. And I kind of want, like, thinking in terms of comic books, it can be like an ongoing thing where something happens, they're trying to figure out what it is, what this infection is, what it does. They find out it's dangerous, they put a stop to it, building and building, you know? I outlined all of that while I was away as well. So long story short, because I've just been talking all along about my writing, as hopefully you've been watching me lay down some pencils on this page right here. I got a lot of writing down. I got a lot of character designs down, and even though I got to thoroughly enjoy my week-long holiday with friends. Felt like even though it was not quite the work I wanted to do, as in like getting the pages out, it was still pretty productive, and it was still easily half an hour to an hour a day, but it was a different side of production. And it's nice, it's fun how you can, because you know we're a one-man team, so we kind of have to do everything. So it's nice how, oh, so I'm out of the house, I don't have my gear, I don't have my computer. Okay, well, I'll just write then. Oh, I can't draw the comic, but I can still draw, so I'll just draw character designs. It's nice that you can work like that. The damn thing is still not done, so I'm gonna shut up now. Get to work. Thank you for watching. This has been Jan, rambling on and on about all the writing, and it had to be done. I guess I'm kind of just recapping for myself on everything I've been doing in the last week, but I do hope you enjoyed this this episode today. Tomorrow, more time lapses, more artwork, more page work. So I hope you like, subscribe, so you can stay tuned to see how I'm going to be doing tomorrow. But in the meantime, be sure to check out the other 100-day challengers. You can find us under Thee100s on Facebook, and I'll be sure to post some links down below so you can check out the channels here on YouTube directly. See you guys tomorrow.